Okay. Alright. Whoop. How are we doing here? Okay. Hello. How are you guys doing? Back with some more Bompa. Don't you just love it? So I thought I'd take this chance today to talk about some movies. Well, maybe just one. I remember. I just watched Reservoir Dogs for the first time. They just put it on Netflix, so I thought I'd watch it. I watched it. The original plan was to watch it like after we watched Bullet Train. So I ended up watching Reservoir Dogs. I think it was just a couple days ago. And unsurprisingly, it's a pretty damn good movie. I don't know if it's just because I'm a bit of a Quentin Tarantino fan. It was like one of his first movies. I don't think it's his first movie, but it's like it's one of his first big boy movies, you know? It's one of the first movies that you think of and you think, okay, that's Quentin Tarantino. That's like when he was really getting into it. Or at least, to my knowledge, that's how it is. I thought it was a pretty dang good movie. Although sometimes, you know, they said the N-word at points when I thought it wasn't particularly necessary. I just feel like Quentin really wants to say the N-word. I don't know him well enough to say whether he's racist or not, but I would love to have that in his movies. I think in some of the movies it makes sense because he sets them in the old West during, or is it after? I know the Hateful Eight took place. I don't remember if it was during or after the Civil War. And like places like there, it makes sense because those movies, especially Django Unchained, that's like about slavery and stuff, makes sense for the time period. And I guess here, you know, the main characters are like criminals, so it's not like you're going to expect them to be the most politically correct characters in the universe, but what are you going to do? It's amazing. You know, the thing is, since this movie is, you know, one of Quentin Tarantino's first ones, it's like it has the advantage of having that kind of vintage flavor. You know, the film is a little bit grainy. There's just something about that, man. That slight grain, the slight differences in how sound was recorded back then. It's very subtle. And it's not even that long ago. I can't remember, is it in the 90s or... I'm looking this up right now. When was Reservoir... Okay, so it was in the 90s. So it's really not that old, but like... I mean, relatively speaking. I mean, it's kind of old for me, being a 2000s kid and all. I mean, even stuff from the 90s kind of has that vintage flavor now. I wonder how long it takes for something to truly become vintage. Like if there's like some sort of qualification for that. Like if people have written down, okay, it has to be this many years since it was made for it to be truly a vintage thing. But sometimes you can just feel it. You can just feel the time that it was made in. And you can definitely tell that it is one of Quentin's early works because, you can see that he was still kind of experimenting, trying to find like his flavor, his style. And I think the Reservoir Dogs was like one of the first. I still need to watch more of his movies. I still haven't watched Pulp Fiction. I haven't watched, what's the other one? Jackie Brown? Yeah, Jackie Brown. I haven't watched that one. There's still so many movies that I need to watch from him. But and it's neat how he was kind of able to get that flavor so early on, because I don't know, like, I think that was only like the second movie he worked on, right? I could be wrong. I'm looking up his filmography right now. Hang on. Okay. So his first movie was that he directed was My Best Friend's Birthday. And then Past Midnight, he was an associate producer and an uncredited writer. And then Reservoir Dogs was like his second movie that he directed. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia. Could be wrong. I don't know where the debate is at with
dogs looking.
Wikipedia being a valid resource for information or whatever.
Dogs looking.
I feel like there's something wrong with this.
Dogs looking. With dogs looking.
Yeah, it's probably fine. The thing I'm struggling with is this. I'm working on this guy right now. So, okay, let me take a second to tell you where I'm at with the animation. So, Bompa, Grandpa Bob, is talking about
went through
how when he took the troop train to Berlin from Bitburg, that the train would stop at every little town because these East German soldiers would have to look under the train for people trying to smuggle themselves, being smuggled into Germany. So here, what I'm having happen is like I might have Bompa be asleep because he said that it took a long time. Then like I'm gonna have to like move the camera so it looks like the train is like coming to a complete stop. So he kind of like smacks himself against the seat, and he gets kind of pissed for a second, and then he like goes right to the window, and then he kind of his expression kind of turns from anger to surprise as the camera pans down to these dudes. And this guy is checking under the train. This guy has got a dog that's kind of snapping in the background. And then like he kind of gives the thumbs up. And then he steps away, and then the train, I'll have to have the train on a separate layer, and the train's going to go. And then smoke or dust will come by, and that will be the transition to the next scene. One thing I appreciate about this format, I'm doing kind of like a StoryCorps format where the only thing that's really important here is the monologue, or just the voiceover from Grandpa Bob. Like this would have been such a pain in the ass if I had to get sound effects. That's part of the reason why I chose for this to be kind of my return to like short film, because this is just something. I mean, short films films in general just aren't easy in and of themselves, but like with this, there's like a lot of things that I can do that are in the spirit of what I'm trying to do, but also make it a bit easier on myself, if that makes sense. Let me check on the stream real quick. Okay, Looks like Connection's doing pretty good. That's nice. So anyway, back to Quentin Tarantino. It's amazing to me. I might need to watch his My Best Friend's Birthday, because like I didn't know. I always thought that Reservoir Dogs was his first movie, but I guess I was wrong. And it's interesting to me that like I watch Reservoir Dogs and I've watched things like Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight before this. Oh, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've watched all these movies before I watched Reservoir Dogs. Like, Reservoir Dogs isn't my introduction to Quentin Tarantino. So it's interesting to me that he was able to, on only his second time directing, kind of figure out his style. I think that's very impressive. Holy crap, what am I doing? Oh yeah. I think that's impressive because like I watch Reservoir Dogs and it's a bit rough, but like it definitely feels like him. And that's amazing for your second movie. Like that's crazy. Maybe it's not as crazy as I think, but like I would imagine if you're just getting into directing, it might take you a bit longer to find your style. Much longer than 2 movies. Although perhaps, I don't know if he worked on like short films beforehand. Maybe he did a lot of experimentation beforehand. I don't know. I've also been watching a lot of Cowboy Bebop. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Pretty damn good show. I got to the episode where Jet like reunites with his old wife or whatever. And again, I don't remember. I don't know when it was made. Jesus, I'm just looking up a bunch of stuff today. When was Cowboy Bebop made? 2001. Okay. I don't know. I would have guessed like 90s anime, just from the way it looks. I just wish I could replicate that. There's just like something about that. The way the backgrounds are done. And anime in general just has like really beautiful, or at least usually very beautiful, detailed backgrounds. That's something I've always kind of admired about anime. There's always such a dedication to artistry, and I've always appreciated that. This whole sequence of motion is going to be kind of tricky to do.
People try to getting in.
You can animate people walking all
Dogs
you want.
Looking for people try
you
to
get to like technical crap like this. There's like so many pieces of motion that I just never considered. You just never consider when you first look at something like this, like getting up. There's so much that goes into it. You gotta push up against something to support yourself, and then you gotta get up, and then the dude steps back. There's so many little intricacies to human motion that sometimes go unnoticed, but it's there. You know what I'm talking about? I think Inglourious Bastards was the first Tarantino movie I watched, if I'm remembering correctly. And what a damn good first movie to watch. I haven't seen all of his movies, like I said, but if I had to pick, if I had to guess, if I had to make a prediction about like what his best movie was, probably be that one. So many iconic moments. And what a great villain. There's probably not much I could say about that movie that hasn't already been said. The thing about Quentin Tarantino is that, like, he's kind of like a Ghibli situation where he's like this respected director, and I came in a little bit late, so I still get to kind of rediscover a lot of his movies. I'm kind of thankful for that. It's been a lot of fun. He's definitely a very unique artist. I think one thing that always, if there's ever like a problem with his movie, it's more so a problem with me being impatient, because the thing about Quentin Tarantino is that like he likes that slow burn. He likes to let people talk for like half an hour before people start shooting, and like I'm kind of the person who's like, get to it already. But no, that's just his style. Like one minute you're looking at a bunch of people talking, and then the next minute, people are shooting each other's nuts off. It's crazy. Nuts, for lack of a better word. You know what? I usually do the slow ends, but I might just do in-betweens this time. Check the stream. How are we doing? Okay, neat. Connection's still doing good. Nice. Coolio. So weird. Why is it like... Oh, okay, so it's like still loading. I'm so new to all of this stuff. I do not know any of this. Anything that's going on right now. Watched it. The original plan was to watch it like after we watched Bullet Train. Okay. So I ended up watching Reservoir Dogs. I think it was just a couple days ago. And unsurprisingly, okay, so it's supposed to be way back like that. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna turn the sound off. I'm just realizing now that as I'm like scrubbing through the time, I really don't need to have the sound on. It's also making it harder for you guys to hear me. Okay. So yeah, where was I? Like that scene where the dude, spoilers I guess, but that scene where where Mr. Blonde cuts off that cop's ear, that's like classic Quentin Tarantino moment. Very cool, very sadistic. Okay. It's films like that kind of make me want to experiment more with like live action. Like just shooting stuff in live action. Because there's a certain flavor to live action stuff too, especially like indie live action stuff. Something about going out and filming something real. It just has a different flavor, man. It's all valid. There's just so many ways to create so many different things, and it's amazing. Hope I don't get copyright for just humming the song. So, you know, I could stand to be a bit less gestural with these. Wait a minute. Do I want him to step, or is he just like leaning against? He's just leaning. So, okay. So he's getting up, but he's just leaning on it for a second before like pushing off. So he doesn't step down with this left foot. Or at least he doesn't need to. You see how he doesn't really step down? He's just kind of like bringing his foot up so that his body can properly lean, and then he kind of just steps back. Okay. I get you. Again, I was talking about this on one of my other streams. I don't do this as often as I should, but if you want to get into like professional animation, it might be a better idea to have your timing planned out beforehand. Because I'm just kind of going at it. I'm just kind of timing it as I go. That's just how I work. You get a better computer. One thing I don't like, I like streaming because I can talk my way through it, but the one thing I don't like is it's just how slow it makes it to work with stuff. I can't stop humming it. It's like stuck in my head now. There's so many movies to watch, man. Still gotta watch that Midsommar movie. I might watch Hereditary. Oh, there's this one movie I heard was really good. It was called Annihilation. I heard really good things about that movie. There's so many wonderful works of art out right now. And I'm really appreciative. I wonder what's going to happen with Pixar's Elemental. Looks like a cute movie, but it also kind of looks like it has a pretty generic story. Like of a fire lady falling in love with a water dude. Probably not the most original idea in the world. Is it just me, or is like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Pixar was never really known for their action or anything, but like, I feel like they're doing more chill movies these days. Like, you got Luca, just kind of like it's kind of a chill vibe in coastal Italy. Then you got Turning Red. It's about, kind of got that like nostalgic 2000s being at school vibe. Although there was like a big, giant Godzilla panda, so what do I know? Now, one thing that's hard about this is that I can't tell if, like, it's this slow because I'm streaming or if that's just how the animation looks. You know, people tell you to build your own computer, but, like, man, I don't know how the hell to do that. Well, I think I'll have to... Okay. That looks more like it. So, okay, I think this... need a couple more seconds here, like an anticipation before he pushes off. That's what that needs. Let's check the stream real quick. Oh, there we are. There it is. Okay, I understand. I understand. I know. I know. Return to like short film because this is just something. I mean, short films aren't. Films in general just aren't easy. Okay. Whoop. Alright. Well, I guess it's going to be a little bit laggy. Only can take so much for so long. Wait, what time? I don't know if I've been doing this for. Okay. Where's the timer stop? That's weird. I don't like that. I wonder if there's a better timer on here. Huh? Okay. There we go. Is the... Alright, that's fine. It's whatever. I usually try to go for like 30 minutes at the most. Stuck in the middle with you. One really confusing thing I did was I put like 2 lines here, so I can't tell which is where the waist begins or ends or whatever. Focus to the right, and I am stuck in the middle with you. Stuck in the middle with you. Focus to the left, and clowns doing stuff. My name is John. Yeah, I'll probably have to stop streaming soon just so I can make sure my computer is running at a good frame rate so I can properly see what my progress looks like. Luckily, if I finish this guy, I'll be done with one character, at least for this scene. This is usually how I did short films. You know, I would would do the rough, like I would go through all the scenes and do the rough animation, and then go back through them and do the cleanup and the sound and everything. Oh yeah. Stuck in the middle, Joker's telepathy climbs to the here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Maybe I could do something where the leg kind of starts to preemptively stick itself out there. Maybe that's something I could do. Is it okay with you guys? Ooh, that looks good. Nice little anticipation there. Neat. Okay, what time is it? Okay, it's been about 31 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. I might stream again today. I don't know, but, yeah. Alright, have a good day.